Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, Dad?
Yo, yo, yo. How you ready for the day?
Oh, I'm all kinds of fired up. I just got home from work, so I'm like running on adrenaline trying to get home because I was behind like 10 people just deciding they wanted to cruise and take the long way home or whatever. And then I got behind a tractor, and then those people driving 20 under the speed limit didn't want to go around the tractor, so I was just like, pumped up. I was like, I gotta get home. I gotta get home right now. And so, I'm still riding on the high from last night. All fired up, and then my adrenaline got me pumping. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be late. And so, I'm ready to go today.
Yeah. Speaking of, we got a little bit of an echo somewhere. Is that from you or from me?
I don't hear it.
Test, test, test. Oh,
Test.
okay. I heard it once or twice and then it disappeared. Maybe it's my volume's up too much. Let me turn it down a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, as appropriate measures for today, you brought out the broom, swept the Cubbies under the rug a little bit, and
Okay, before we get into that, the thing I'm happy look, yes, I'm happy about them sweeping the Cubs. I will always be happy about that. They could never sweep another team again as long as they swept the Cubs, and I would feel good. But the thing is they're winning close games now, and that is what is making me happy. Like they should be able to win, one-run games and stuff like that. But before, that's where they struggled. They were tied or down one or up only one, and then they were blowing the game. I feel like our bullpen is really kind of pulling together. Like it's still out here, but it's
good spot to freeze. There you go. You're back.
I know, but like that's the win I take away from this. Like we're ahead of the Cubs. The Brewers lost to the Pirates last night, so that's like more embarrassing than anything we could ever do. And at this point in the season, when the Pirates are behind 20 games, so that's embarrassing. That's awesome. Um, our bullpen is not perfect. It's far from it, but with our key players like TJ Antone and Lucas Sims being hurt, I think they're really rallying around that. Like Brad Brock, he's doing good. And, Hendricks and also Hembry, who have struggled in giving up lots of home runs and hit bad pitching, they're finally working the kinks out. Also, update Michael Lorenzen's finally going to the bats. So
Yeah, he started his rehab program after shoulder surgery. Why did I lose your volume?
I don't know.
Okay, you lost your volume for a few minutes there.
But
that's
it's a long time coming, and so I'm really happy that he's finally making those baby steps that are turning into big steps into coming back. And David Bell already said they're going to put him in the bullpen first, and so I'm happy about that as well.
Yeah, because the only time Mike had really issues was when he was long-term starting. But if you haven't watched him play, I mean, he's just a smaller version of Shohei Ohtani, right? He can hit, he can play the field, he can run, he's a physical specimen. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, well, we need that back in our rotation.
Yeah, I really feel like that, another strong arm in the bullpen with these other guys right now that have kind of, they're holding serve. They're not dominating teams. They're not getting out, perfect or unscathed, but they're holding their own, keeping us in games right now when let's be honest, the group's not been very good for us. So with that being said, then you've got TJ Antone on the men who's got one of the best curveballs in the game, followed by Lucas Sims, who has probably maybe the best spin rate in the game, that are on their way back up. And all of a sudden our starting rotation is still looking really good, giving us 5, 6, 7 innings a night. And that makes us a serious contender for the second half of the season.
And, let's give credit where it's due. I mean, our pitchers, starting and bullpen pitchers, have stepped up. But look at Joey Votto coming off a fractured thumb. He's hitting the best as he has been all season, and everybody is hitting so well, and that's why we're winning these games. We may not be scoring as many hits as we get, and that's okay. But, we're playing good defense. We're hitting the ball well, and our bullpen isn't blowing game after game.
Yeah,
I
good.
could not be more happy where we're sitting right now.
And while I just got a second, Lou, I want to say hey and thanks for stopping in tonight for a few minutes and hanging out with us. We love our baseball. I'm not sure where your loyalty lies in baseball. Are you a Mets or a Yankees guy? If you're a Yankees guy, what do you think about Aroldis Chapman getting basically booed off the field after blowing another save? How do you feel about if you're a Mets guy, how do you feel about your future going, into or are you just not a baseball guy and you're just here because you seen somebody was running a live stream that you knew? I'm not really sure, but I appreciate you coming by.
For whatever reason, we definitely appreciate having you here.
Heck yeah, because Lou is fantastic with his detector. He's very personable. Gotcha. Grew up with the Mets. That's probably a better choice right now. And you're a Yankees fan.
I feel like the other day I caught one of his live streams, and I didn't say anything because I didn't really know anybody in there. But I just want you to know I was sitting there in the shadows for a few minutes the other day.
Yeah, we definitely support as many channels as we can get a chance to get into, and these live streams we have a lot of fun with. So with that all being said, and there's Shelby in here on the Card Sharks channel. What's up, Shelby Lynn?
Also, I just want to take a minute and say whether you're watching this live or you're watching this after we're done being live, drop a like, and if you have not, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you have not checked out this channel, Card Sharks, me, Shelby, and Dad's going to be putting content on there very soon. If you have any interest in sports cards, Pokemon cards, or just cards in general, we got content coming out every single day. And that channel is starting to grow, and we appreciate each and every one of you. But yeah, if you're new here, drop a like, drop a subscribe. And if you're not watching this live, drop a comment on the actual video to let us know that you stopped by for a minute.
Yeah. I'm going to speak to Lou since he's here. That Yankees team, I love the management there. And I am an Aroldis guy because he came from us. And, to see him struggling and not kind of coming into the twilight of his career like Mariano Rivera did and having some issues, it's kind of saddening to see the guy's given a lot to the three teams that he's played for. I mean, I'm not a Yankees fan, but I do like to see them right the ship because that division that they play in is amazing to watch. And, Boston's phenomenal. Tampa Bay's probably got one of the best system teams in Major League Baseball. They win without spending big bucks.
I have so much respect for that Tampa Bay team, especially over the last 3 or 4 years. Oh, they've done so much, and they're continuing to grow. And with being on the bottom end, like you said, of like the amount of money they have to spend, it just takes me back to the World Series. Dodgers and Tampa Bay. 3 Dodgers players had the salary of the entire Tampa Bay team. Right. They don't have a lot of money, and they're doing so well with what they have.
All of what we were going through. But yeah, I mean, I think Lou has a fun division to watch. And, I know he probably doesn't watch a lot of baseball, but I bet you for sure at the end of the day, he's checking highlight reels and seeing what happened and maybe watches a game or 2 a week. He seems like, most New York sports guys are kind of that way. They at least get in there and they're involved. They know what's going on with their team, which was highly commendable. But, but back to where we were going a minute ago, the thing about yesterday's win, or the last 2 wins for that matter, it wasn't Nick Castellanos doing it. It wasn't Jesse Winker.
Rookies, dude.
Yeah, Tyler Stevenson, and then Joey Votto coming up big play after play. And, you know, he's
Every
30.
game, he has been one of the leading impacts into the, our scoring and what we won from.
Yeah, I think that I think that them winning in different ways, you know, and here's the other thing. One of our best bats is just now starting to get some hits again. Suarez is slowly coming up. I look forward to being after the All-Star break to being really good for us because it feels like we're starting to gain a little momentum at the right time. We're just 3 games over 500. We've got a series this week before the All-Star break that we should be able to win.
We should be able to, but Kansas City's favored.
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't make sense. And look, if I had to choose a second baseball team to follow, it was going to be the Royals. So I have watched a lot. I haven't watched because I get Chicago White Sox games, but I have paid attention and followed their season. And they started off hot. You know, they look like World Series contenders, and then they just took a deep decline. And they'll beat really good teams, and they'll lose to really bad teams. They remind me a lot of the Reds, and they're not a bad team. I don't know if there's coaching issue or what, but they're getting blown out like 10-plus runs, and then the next day turning around and doing the same thing to the same team. And so they're just very inconsistent. So it just depends on, what team shows up when we get there. Like, I know the third game we have what's his name? No, the third game we have Sonny Gray pitching, but they have their young guy that's really good, Brady Singer.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like that is going to be like, I feel like that's not going to be a high scoring game. I feel like that is going to be a very pitching. That's going to be a pitching duel, And so like it's just whoever can get under the other one's skin first.
But see, if you go through their season a little bit this year, a lot of their woes are the same woes that we've had, and it's bullpen woes. They hit the ball pretty well. They're like,
they hit really well.
They're like a 245 team average hitting team. I mean, that's right about where we at as far as batting average goes. We score a few more runs than they do. We get a few more across the plate, but their team ERA and is down there that's lower or higher, I should say, and they struggle at the end of games. So they have the same issues that we've kind of had going forward. And you're right, they're a pretty solid little team, and they've just hit a big slump right now. But as hot as they were the first 6 weeks of the season, they could get that hot again. And I say we have a good opportunity to win a series. It's going to be tough to win 2 games there. It's always tough to win on the road. However, we have an opportunity in the first game, even though we got Gutierrez on the mound. I think the pitcher that they got is one that's been struggling for the first game. I can't remember his name. I can
remember his name off the top of my head, but his ERA is very comparable to Gutierrez. I mean, his is a little worse. I think it's in the 5s.
Yeah.
And Gutierrez is like 4.9.
Yep, it's Mike Minor. You're right. They're very similar. I thought it was the other guy it's not that guy. But these guys here, it's going to be probably a 2 to 3 run give up through 5 or 6 innings, what a good starter normally gives you. And, it's going to be up to whoever can crack the bullpen. If our bullpen keeps pitching well, we've got a good chance to win, tomorrow night. If not, we might lose 3 games before the All-Star break, and we'll be in here Thursday night mad.
Well, not only do we have these 3 games, but we have the first series against Milwaukee, which.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's before the All-Star game as well. The whole Milwaukee series is going to be tough, and I know I lost you there again, so I just took over.
Yeah, I realized it tells me afterwards. It's like, hey, your internet was out. Like, no, I know you need to tell me when it's happening so I can just stop rambling. But, we have 1 series before the All-Star break and 1 series right after. And the one that's right after at home, I think we're going to be able to manage. But if we can get 2 or 3 wins in Milwaukee, I think that's going to, change everything. And because that all of a sudden puts us only a game or 2 behind going into the All-Star break if we can win most of those games, including the Kansas City games.
And, the other thing that's really kind of cool is that with fans back in the stadium, right, did you notice that all these games that we've been watching here lately have felt like playoff atmospheres?
Oh, man. I mean, let's be real here. When we play the Cubs, I feel like it is that atmosphere. But we're playing the Cubs plus 40,000 fans. Like, that Friday night game was incredible. Like,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I get that the other two were earlier in the day, but they were still a big turnout, and those games were incredible. And I enjoyed seeing it. And so I think if we can handle the Brewers and win 4 of the 7 games, we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to make up a little ground in that series. 2 games would be nice. It's easy to get excited, and then every time we get excited about this team, what turns around and happens next is we get let down in a big way. Whether it be going on the road and getting pummeled, or losing 2 out of 3 at home to San Diego. Every time we decide that we're going to get high on this team, we go back the other direction, and that's.
But the thing is we can't beat San Diego. I mean, we did. But that is a team we continue to struggle. It was just like Arizona at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
we got a couple kryptonite teams, and the Padres are just one of them. And they have one of the best defenses in baseball, and all of their starting batters are insane, all of them, except for maybe the pitcher.
Yeah, San Diego is who we are. If you go into right now as the playoff standings sit.
Yeah, the wild cards, the Dodgers and the Padres.
And we're behind the Padres for the
by
wild
like 3 games.
Yeah, so we're chasing Milwaukee right now, but we're still we're ahead of most of the National League right now. So, we got a lot to be happy for. We just need a few improvements over the second half. Mike Lorenz and I hope will be one of those sparks, getting our bullpen right, and and then
I think we get TJ back this weekend. The last time I looked at it was last week, so it might have changed, but it said July 7th.
So, I haven't really been keeping up with the injury reports, but I don't think I haven't heard what happened to the Hoffman kid.
I didn't really.
There's another pitcher that's on that list too, right?
Hang on, I'll pull it up. I got it on my phone. Yeah, I don't really like that Hoffman guy.
No, he was
probably like my least favorite pitcher in our bullpen and starting lineup. So for injuries, we have Kyle Farmer is out at least until tomorrow. Jonathan India is out at least until tomorrow. Michael Lorenzen should be out at least until July 10th. Max Schrock should be back today. TJ, now it says July 23rd, and for TJ and Lucas Sims.
So they're waiting till after the All-Star break.
Michael Feliz.
Yeah,
he says July 8th. Hoffman, July 7th. Blandino, July 6th. Moustakis, July 31st. Nick Senzel, July 30th. And then Brandon Bailey is out for the season.
Well, I just saw that Senzel is getting ready to go out for knee. Oh, he already had the surgery. I didn't know that. So, yeah, and he's been glass. Man, that's a lot of decisions to make. That's a lot of roster turnover this year. I mean, it's been consistent. I mean, we had Shogo out for however many weeks at the beginning. We've had Moose out since like April or May. We had Joey out for 6 weeks with that fractured thumb. We've been battling injuries the entire season. That brings me to another question, because of something. You've always liked baseball. You've always enjoyed when we go to games and stuff like that. This is the first year that you've actually stat watched a lot. You may have watched games before, but you're actually more involved this go around this year.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've been this involved with baseball and this involved with basketball as well. And I think this channel helped bring that out with me. But the statistics and things like that, I always just threw myself into football and football only. And I have been so distraught without football. It's unreal. This is the year I've never been this distraught without having football. And so I've thrown myself into every sport. I watched tennis and golf today for 6 hours.
Not
And
much fun.
yesterday, I watched the hot dog eating contest. That man ate 76 hot dogs with the bun in 10 minutes.
That's a fucking champion right there. Oops.
I almost puked.
So, but what I was getting to a minute ago, and I know you've been really big on it with football, and as far as sports news goes with football, I mean, I remember, when the trading season opened up for football, my phone blew up because you were always sending me notifications and who went where and whatnot. Baseball's got a very, very similar trade deadline, but teams will cut ties mid-season, right after the All-Star break is when the deadline is, and they will cut ties and they will try to fix their roster. They may make that they gamble. They will make moves that can't believe they traded such and such. He was doing so well, because they feel like they need to fill a void. I think by what the Reds organization has stated, that they are looking to improve at the trade deadline. So they're looking to find ways to get better, which puts guys like Nick Castellanos, Mike Moustakas, even, I hate to say it, but even Shogo on the trading block for pitching, and among other things. And Castellanos just for financial reasons that could be put on that number. But how do you think you're going to take this first year of watching the trade deadline come and go? And there's 2 trade deadlines for baseball. One has to do with when you can play in the postseason, and then one is this first one, which gives you full rights. How do you feel about all that, and how do you feel about the buyer and seller market in Major League Baseball?
Look, I'm going to be real honest. I feel like Shogo is going to go, and I'm going to be really upset about it. David Bell hates Shogo, and I can't figure it out. It's obvious at this point. The only reason he got some of these last, consecutive starts was because the other team, a last-minute pitching change because their pitcher was sick and injuries. That's the only reason he's getting starts. And so I feel like he has value, and they're going to go try and find someone or get something for him. And I hate that, but I think as long as you keep the main, 6 or 7 guys, I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to be okay with it. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I've grown really attached to even some of these other guys like Kyle Farmer, even Max Schrock, some of these other guys that have just come in. Heineman a little bit. He's done okay. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I don't really like it. So.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to be the big question going forward through the All-Star break: who's getting traded and who's not. And you could see there's a lot of guys that could just vanish from this team, and
I could see them dealing Moose as well. I know he's injured right now, but I could see that happening.
Well, I mean, his contract is kind of it's heavy, and that might be what makes it difficult to get a trade for him. Castellanos has has a player option for next year, but he's a hot commodity right now. If they could get something for their future, that's not above saying that they would they wouldn't trade him if they get the right amount of picks and plus talent to replace him with, because they got guys.
I know they got guys, but I don't. I feel like David Bell's head is gonna be everyone's coming after it if they get rid of some of those guys. And I feel like personally he should already be on the chopping block if he's not, right there on the edge. And I feel like if he screws this up and deals away some of the people who are making this team whole and we start declining, he can't have a job at the end of the season.
No, you're absolutely right. It's going to be interesting to see. But the whole point of it is that that's what makes baseball fun. The Dodgers will inevitably try to make themselves better by the trade deadline. San Francisco, that's the team that nobody expected to be in first place in the West right now. And they expected it to be between San Diego and LA. And now you got San Francisco throwing a monkey wrench into their plans. The National League East is declining. The Mets started out fairly hot. Now they're starting to slow down.
Yeah, the Nationals, I think, are creeping up on them.
Well, yeah, all them teams in the middle there, the Braves, the Nationals, and the Phillies are all playing fairly decent. So that division's going to tighten up. Baseball is such a long season, but to be able to get that fix every single day and get to watch 162 games a season makes it kind of cool, and it makes you be where you get really involved. We were talking earlier. I'm really kind of shocked. I did not think Atlanta was going to fold in the NBA game. I thought they were going to put up more of a fight. And then
I think Trae Young's injury, yes, he played. I think Trae Young's injury really hurt that team. Like he put everything he had into that game, but it wasn't enough. He couldn't make his shots, because he couldn't use both of his feet, and they were down 22 points, and I watched them get within 4. And at the end, but at the same time, you've got people like Chris Middleton who scored 23 points in the third quarter. They just didn't miss. And Atlanta had some really bad turnovers. They were unable to rebound the ball on the offensive and defensive end until the last 3 minutes of the game. They were just not a whole team. And I think that 100% has to do with Trae Young's injury. I think if he had been 100% healthy, the way they came back after that 22-point deficit, they would have won that game.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Middleton that third quarter, I watched that game. And
that third quarter was insane. He only had 6 points in the first half.
He lit it up. And you know what? Giannis isn't going to be back for the finals. I haven't seen a date yet. So
yeah, there's no set date. They said they're taking it day by day. I read that right before I left work today.
Do you know the first day of that series? Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Man, I really, this is that opportunity that I see for, Phoenix to just pounce and take off.
Look how hot Milwaukee is without Giannis. Everybody stood up and, just took over.
Yeah.
They're beatable, though. That's the thing. They are beatable.
Well,
they're hot right now, but they were hot against a struggling Atlanta team whose star was out for half the series, and when he did play, he was hurt. And so that kind of shifts my perspective, and it's they're coming beat up on.
So I mean, basically, the time's going to have to be. They're just going to have to put them down. They're going to have to get on them early and hammer him down, because when Chris Middleton gets hot, I didn't see anybody that could really stop Chris Middleton. He was completely unstoppable. His shot was fantastic, and he carried them. He carried that team through that third quarter and built that lead big enough to win the game. And that's like two superstars on that team. I know you don't like Giannis much, but he does pose a huge threat in the middle. Is for his size and how just how enormous he is. He's tough to defend.
The thing about Chris Middleton, it was he those shots throughout the season that people were telling Luka he was getting lucky, those incredibly crazy, unrealistic shots. That was what he was doing at every shot that they had 3 guys in his face and he just pulled up behind him, and it was at the half-court line, and he made it. Nothing was stopping him once he got going. And, on the defensive side, he was making the stops needed. He was getting the rebounds, them as a whole without Giannis. That is, if Giannis doesn't play a single game in the finals and they end up winning it, I will be okay with that, because, I like that team 100 times more without him. I just don't like him. And 1, he's a ball hog. 2, he thinks he's the best player that's ever played basketball. And I'm like, no, dude, you're 10 feet tall. You have an unfair advantage that not everybody has. Chris Middleton is pure talent. There is nothing else to say about that. That man is born to play basketball. He is pure talent. Giannis is not talent. It is not talented if you don't even have to jump to put your hands on the rim.
Yeah, I know we have a distaste for people that are that huge in life, but he does have talent. He is just I'm trying to think. It just seems like sometimes that he is so massive that it seems a little unfair.
I mean, let's be real here. The Phoenix Suns team is not that big. They've got DeAndre Ayton and
That he is so massive.
what's his name? I literally forget his name every time. He's number 99, Jay Crowder. Yeah, they got DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, and maybe like one or two other guys, but the rest of them are all Chris Paul and Devin Booker size. They're not that big.
Oh, I agree. I mean,
everybody in Milwaukee is huge. Not as huge as Giannis, but the rest of them are pretty big.
Well, you got Brook Lopez that's over 7 feet
Brook
tall.
Lopez and Giannis they're dads. They're like 100 feet tall. And then you got everybody else that's like 7 foot tall, But I don't know. I have a lot of respect for, that organization other than Giannis.
Well, we shall see. I can't wait to watch Game 1. I'm more excited for the NBA to be over, honestly. I am looking forward to the draft a little bit. I do want to see it kind of done because we're in July. We got football coming.
We got preseason games next month.
Training camp's getting ready to start. I mean, everything's getting ready.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. Around the time the All-Star game is when training camp starts, right around there.
Yeah, have you noticed how quiet it's gotten about Aaron Rodgers and how quiet it's gotten about Deshaun Watson?
I have not heard one single thing about Deshaun Watson in 2 weeks. I haven't even heard someone say his name other than myself and maybe having a conversation with you. Other than that, nothing. Aaron Rodgers, I watched it. There was no volume or subtitles. I watched them talk about him today, but I don't know what was said. So I know they're still having conversations about him. It's very quiet under the table, but it's still being talked about. And I read an article titled today about it was just like why Patrick Mahomes is like a clear go-to favorite for MVP next year and why Aaron Rodgers will not win it. So I saw his name there too. So things are getting shifted around about him. No one knows what's going to happen yet, which it should be figured out by training camp. I keep saying there's no way it's going to last longer than another week or two, but there is no way it's going to last longer than training camp. By the time training camp starts, if they don't have it figured out, that man is not playing football next year.
Agreed. The last thing that I heard or read or seen, I'm not sure which one it was that his agent is in negotiations for him to play. So
yeah, his agent is still communicating with Green Bay. That was the last thing I heard about that. Realistically, I heard it.
I think that both teams have their arguments. I know that Green Bay wants him there. The reason they want him there is, he won an MVP with a backup quarterback as his last first-round draft pick. I mean, so, they both have reasons. I still think that, I just got to think that he may sit out. I don't know. I don't know that them being able to figure it out. Amanda says July 2nd was the last day to opt out of the season, but I don't see anything about any players opting out. Yeah, well, and to that I'll say that if he doesn't want to play, he doesn't need the money. He can take the fines. He'll sit if he doesn't want to play. If he doesn't like what they've got given, he'll sit. So I don't think it's a matter of opting out. It's a matter of saying F you.
Yeah, I think at this point he's just trying to prove a point and hold a grudge, whether it be sitting on the sideline in Green Bay or playing football somewhere else. I don't think he's going to opt out. If he doesn't play, he's going to retire. So I feel like you can retire at any point, right? You don't have to wait until the season's done. You can just do it. I mean, you'll get fined for not playing if you agree to playing, but I don't think he's going to care if he retires.
Do you here's another angle that we've never talked about as far as this goes. Do you think that the NFL or the Players Association, any parts of those entities have an opinion or try? Because let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers not in the NFL this year is bad for business. It's bad for the way everything looks. Do you think that they have any kind of nudge or push, kind of like what a modern politician might do?
I just feel like, maybe, not like Roger Goodell personally or the Players Association personally, but like all these teams that want him. I'm just going to use Denver as an example because that is the most talked about team of him like going somewhere. Teams like Denver are probably really pushing this because think about it, and not only in the talent they're going to receive from getting him, but from the money perspective. Wherever he goes, if he plays for another team, their jersey sales are going to go through the roof. Like, there's going to be 1 million Aaron Rodgers Broncos jerseys sold in a matter of weeks. And so I feel like I don't know about the Players Association. I'm sure they want it figured out so they don't have to keep getting asked questions about it. But I feel like the people pushing it the most are, one, his agent, because at the end of the day, he's the one handling all of this, not Aaron Rodgers. And then two,
I don't like it when you freeze.
What?
I said I don't like it when you freeze.
I don't like it when I freeze either because I told you I don't know until afterwards. And so I just keep talking. But I think, like I said, at the end of the day, I think those teams are pushing. One, like the Denver, they completely opted out of drafting a quarterback because they said, I want Aaron Rodgers. They could have drafted somebody. They got a pretty good first-round pick. And so that's going to affect, teams like that as well who drafted around the fact that they think they might get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Also, there was, and there was still the whole possibility for a while there that Russell Wilson was going to leave Seattle, and that still
but
may
Russ
happen.
came back and was like, no, I never said I wanted to leave. I think his only problem is he wants an offensive line, and I feel like he has the right to ask for that. He's not asking for top 10 receivers like Aaron Rodgers was. He's just asking for an offensive line. That's all he wants. If he had that and he didn't hit the ground so much or he wasn't running for his life so much, I don't think he'd complain at all.
So, well, anyway, so I mean, so we're getting close to that. I'm looking for some kind of decision to come out and break the sports world here soon because the NFL, this is the most quiet that I've seen the NFL news scene in quite some time, and it's kind of creeping me out this close to the season.
I know that Trevor Lawrence signed his 4-year contract today for like $36 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's all I had to say was, wow. I can't believe they gave him. He's the first overall pick, but like I don't know, that just blew my mind. 4 years, $36 million.
I still have my doubts not about his talent level, but
his attitude, man.
Not even so much his attitude. It's just a level of competition that he faced when he was in college. Because let's be honest, the ACC is not a stellar conference.
Well, I mean, look how he fared against good teams.
That's kind of what I was getting at. Because when you play Ohio State, you're facing NFL-ready players. I don't know, they may not go to the NFL, but they could play in the NFL. When you face Alabama, you're facing a lot of guys that will be in the NFL. When you're facing LSU or any team from the SEC, those guys are ready to rock. You get some good players, and the ACC is not horrible, but it's not all NFL ready. There might be NFL ready guys on those teams, but those teams are almost NFL ready. And every time he played one of those, it seems like he struggled. Ohio State has a pretty solid defense, and a lot of those guys got drafted or were free agent signings after the draft. And he did not look so hot against them, and he hasn't. So I think that it's not like when Joe Burrow, and I've never used Joe Burrow in this sense, but he looked like an NFL quarterback playing against Alabama.
Yeah. And Trevor Lawrence was running around scared.
That's kind of the point that I was getting at. I read an article, and it was and I don't know if you've seen the same one, but it was talking about, did the Bengals make a mistake by not drafting Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow?
I don't think that's fair. Justin Herbert probably would have got hurt too. But I also think that coming out of the college football and transition to the NFL, Justin Herbert was a little thicker. So he might not have gotten hurt. I mean, I watched him knock a defender out that the defender hit him. So, he's a stout boy. So maybe, but I still think there was a big risk of him getting just as hurt.
I think that as far as a quarterback goes,
they're just as talented as one another.
I think as far as the way that it, what do you call it, upside goes, they made the right choice for the future. But I felt like somebody putting that article out, especially from Cincinnati, to put that article out was kind of unfair, because Justin Herbert was Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he played all season, had a decent set of players around him. They just didn't win a lot of games.
Yeah, they didn't win a lot of games because they were actually riddled with injury too. Everybody on their team was injured. And he had one wide receiver. But this year, I think Joe Burrow is going to be an elite quarterback as long as he's not on the ground.
Yeah, I hope the assets that they put in front of him on the offensive line, and that the weapons to get open cuts down his pocket time a little bit, so his release time is a little faster, which means he's not getting hit as much. Kind of like the way Andy used to play there, having to have the fastest release time on his throws. I think that those things combined are going to make him be hopefully way more survivable this season. And I really hope that his mobility is down a little bit, but because, he may be back from the knee surgery and stuff like that, but he doesn't need to take shots in that knee right away and doesn't need to try to hurt, I mean, they've set him down in practice for trying to be too mobile right now. So, I mean, I hope he takes his time. I hope he goes through his preseason, and I hope he doesn't re-injure it.
Well, he's not going to play in the preseason. He already said that. He said he will not play until the regular season at all, just because. But also, I don't know how much you've seen about their practices so far and all this. Joe Burrow is a lot bigger than he was. And I'm not talking in one area particularly. His arm is bigger, his knees and legs are looking better. He can throw the ball at least 20 yards further than he could last season. He's overall a stronger player than he was. And he's taken a lot of time to get his body in good shape. He was trying to rush it. And, think about it. He's a 23, 24-year-old on an NFL field, and you get all this talent surrounding him, and they're practicing. Yeah, he's going to want to ball out. And so, yeah, they did the right thing by not letting him do that. But he knows that, and he wants to take it the way it needs to be taken. But, they were just, dangling treats in front of his face, and then they had to tell him no. Pretty much is what happened. But that boy can throw harder, faster, and further than he could last year. He's looking fantastic so far. And the only thing I'm concerned about is his knee. Other than that, I think he is twice the quarterback he was last year. And now he's got 9 or 10 games under his belt. It's not a full season, but that's a lot of experience. He had the good and the bad. I mean, he got destroyed by Pittsburgh, and he had really good games where he did win. And so I think any other player maybe I wouldn't be so confident about, but the way that he soaks up every bit of knowledge thrown at him, every bit of experience. He soaks it in, so he doesn't forget it, and he's pushing himself every day to get better and stronger and all of the things you would want in any player in a recovery setting. And so I think Joe Burrow is going to be phenomenal this year. Like I said, as long as he's not running for his life and on the ground.
Yeah.
They have the potential to be a top 5 offense with the guys they have, pending all stay healthy, and the quarterback they have, pending he stays healthy. All they need is a good offensive line, and I think they're going to be elite. Now, with that being said, we can't put the Bengals' success all on the offense. We have to have the defense step up. Look, they fell apart the game after Joe Burrow went out. But after that, they kind of rallied together and started figuring things out and was like, well, shit, we can't win games based on our offense, so we have to do it on our defense. And things started clicking. And we did pick up some good guys to add into that mix. And so I think if they can only grow from where they left off, I think the defense will be good enough to not lose games every game.
Yeah, you speak it like I feel. I think you've got the analogy is set. I think I really have. I love having expectations going into a season that's not. I hope we can finish 500. It's definitely a playoff expectation, and the other thing about this season, I think little Zach Taylor's job is on the line for how well he does this year. So let's see if he grew up too.
I mean, they got an elite offense. They have a great quarterback. They improved their defense. All they need is their offensive line to hold up. And with all of those tools, they just need to figure out how to use them. And I think they are capable of winning 12 games. I'm never going to say that they will win 12 games because I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. But they should be able to win 12 games this year.
Yeah, that's
going to take. They should have been able to win 8 at least last year. And I'm saying at least because there were a lot of games they should have won.
They didn't.
With that being said, I'll be happy if they win 6.
But, the thing of it is that I think that they've got a good opportunity to win both games against Pittsburgh this year. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be up here again. I don't think they're going to be that type of team. I think they're going to be kind of hit or miss, maybe get a little hot every now and again, but I don't think they're going to be.
I think they're going to be lucky to hit 500.
That's fair. And their coaching is really good there. So
their coaching is really good, but they have no offensive line and a 50-year-old quarterback with broken knees.
Yeah, so there's a couple games that you should be able to think that you can win. Beyond that,
honestly, they should win at least one of the Cleveland games. I'm not saying they should win both, but they could have won both last year. I know that they were outplayed, and their defense let them down really bad in one of them last year. But they should be able to beat at least one time in Cleveland.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to sweep Pittsburgh this year and win one of each of the other two. At least maybe your home games against one of the other two. You should be able to beat the Ravens once and the Browns once. I figure that's a successful year.
I mean, I'll be happy if they beat each of them one time. I don't even care if they lose to Pittsburgh one game. If they can beat each of those 3 one time, I will be happy.
3-3 within the division. That's usually a pretty good, sign because that division's really always tough.
I mean, that division is probably one of the toughest divisions right now, other than the NFC West.
Which I'm totally stoked and excited to watch Arizona. I can't even. Every time I turn on, I see a headline that has something to do with Arizona, I stop and I read it. I cannot believe I'm excited for a team other than Cincinnati for football. I mean,
that doesn't good to be excited for an NFC team for once because, I have never, ever, ever, ever been a fan of any team in the NFC. And Shelby says I can't wait to see how AJ does there. That too, yeah. I keep forgetting he even went there.
Motivation.
I hope he has a breakout season to get a contract to end his career. Oh, you vibing over there.
Dude, I don't even.
Between AJ and Kyler Murray, Larry Fitzgerald, Rondale Moore, even Christian Kirk, if he's still going to play. There's so much talent. Oh, and DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know. They should be elite. They're one of the teams left with the longest playoff drought, and so I want to see them. They should have made the playoffs last year. They slipped at the end, but they should have, and I can't wait to see them in the playoffs this year. I hope to see them in the Super Bowl. They're my probably still going to be an underdog team that I'm going to be rooting for all the way through.
Yeah, for sure. They've definitely got everything they need. I wasn't really sure about the James Conner signing. I don't know that I think that's a great.
I think that signing is kind of irrelevant. Let's be honest. I know.
Are you coming out?
Yeah, but anyway, what I was saying was I don't think that James Conner signing is going to have any value. He might make some plays, but he's not going to be anything in determining if they win or lose a game. Unless he fumbles the ball every time he touches it. That'd be the only way.
Yeah, I was sitting here kind of just looking through their roster right now, and
their defensive line is stacked.
You can't get past the defense, and then you go back into the secondary, and then Prince Amakamara, and then you got Malcolm Butler back there.
Oh man, Malcolm Butler was a steal from Tennessee. Seriously, anybody who got him was going to be lucky to have him. And the fact that he just added to everything Arizona did in the offseason, I don't know. Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. Look, I get that J.J. Watt is, injury prone and getting older, but I don't think that's going to stop him from thriving his last couple years in the league.
Yeah, I just think that
especially getting lined up next to Chandler Jones. He had 6 sacks in one game last year and broke the all-time record for Arizona. And the only reason he broke it is because he had 5 or whatever, and they told him, you only need to get one more, and you'll break that record. And the next play, he did. That man is a tank.
Yeah, I sit here and I keep looking at this roster, and with the exception of your superstars, nobody else doesn't necessarily stand out, but I don't see, as far as what looks like the starters, I don't see a guy on here that I've ever been critical of the way they played. They all seem to be very solid, consistent performers. And that being said, that's kind of what you need. And then this defense I think is going to do well. I really do.
Yeah, I feel like that defense is going to do well. Unless something crazy happens, there's no way it doesn't do well. Unless they just can't work together, all these new guys coming in there. That was the main Kyler Murray had his issues last year. The turnovers. He struggled with that. But ultimately their defense lost them games. And they improved their defense so much. There should be no issue unless Kyler keeps turning the ball over.
Yeah, and I don't, I really.
When you're throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, who can literally catch anything.
And has proven.
Yeah, he's proven that he mossed 3 Bills players at the same time, and he caught it with this much of his hand on the football. 60 yards in a Hail Mary play. That man can catch anything. There's no way they should lose games. They have AJ, as long as he doesn't do whatever the hell he did this past year in Cincinnati, which I don't think he will. As long as he's consistent, catches the ball, You know, that man can catch anything when he wants to. And then, you've got this young speedster coming in as a rookie who I think is going to be insane. He's literally Tyreek Hill, but a little taller. Who do you guard? Who do you double?
You always double DeAndre, but then you got guys like Fitzgerald and Green to sit there and collect yards.
Well, that was a trick question. You always double DeAndre Hopkins because you got to put 5 guys on him for him to not catch it.
Right.
But and you still got Larry Fitzgerald, who is still insanely talented, even for his age. You send all 11 guys after Kyler Murray is the only way, and just hope that one of you can outrun him and get to him before the ball comes off.
I still, to this day, I cannot understand the meltdown in Houston to where you would think that trading DeAndre Hopkins was a good idea.
That was the dumbest football move I think I have ever seen.
I just can't. I never wrapped my hands around that. And then, you fire the coach, but why would you let the coach make that decision? Why? Why would you let your organization lose that guy for nothing?
It wasn't like he was asking to leave, because he was fine, catching balls from Deshaun Watson. They were in the playoffs. The only reason they lost was because of the Chiefs' miracle comeback. They were up 24-0 on the Chiefs. They were a playoff team. And
you could safely say that he was the number one wideout in the NFL in 2019 and 2018.
I was saying you might have been able to say that last year.
Well, yeah. He had 115 receptions last year for 1,407 yards with a 12.2 average, 6 TDs. God, the list goes on and on as far as what he did. And most of those are better numbers than what he put up with Houston for the most part, except for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, I'm just saying, people will think that when you say DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league, that you're just saying that because everyone says that. But there's facts behind that. It's true, and he succeeds no matter where he's at.
Yep, I think I can't. Well, previewing that AFC West, that's going to be a tough division. And right now, it looks like Seattle and San Fran are going to be the two, really battling for third, while the Rams and the Cardinals seem like they're the class of that division right now. Would you agree?
Yeah. You could basically flip a coin at this point to decide who's going to take that division between those two, because I have no idea.
Both teams, look, let's just talk organizationally right now. Those two franchises have done very well at putting themselves in a position to win this year.
I felt like that Sean McVay and what's his name, Cliff Kingsbury, they were sitting in their office and watching each other's team football's Twitter, and they're like, oh, he did that, well, I got to do something like that too. And they just kept doing that. And so they just kept improving their team over and over and over again. They were just battling each other to see who could get the best improvements.
And Matt Stafford coming to the West, there's another guy that you don't really put in it. You don't think of as an elite quarterback, but when you're all that your team really has, and you keep them winning 6-7 games a season, and then you go to a team that's set up to win. I think that as long as the mesh is well, I think, those two teams right there should be one of those two teams should definitely be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you gotta, still battle through Tampa Bay. who will probably be at least in the championship game unless they face Washington in the playoffs again, because I don't think Washington's going to let them lose twice or let them get beat twice, because that was a hell of a game. I don't care. And also, you've got Chicago. Look, I don't like a lot of things there, but I think they're going to win at least 10 games this year.
Yeah, a lot of what happens this year depends. I think if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, that the rest of that.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, I can guarantee Chicago wins 10 games.
Yeah, I mean, then it's probably between. You know what? I still say Green Bay is competitive without Aaron Rodgers.
I know Green Bay will be competitive, but I don't see them going to the Super Bowl or looking like they're going to the Super Bowl. I think they will make the playoffs because I feel like I've never watched a season that Green Bay was not in the playoffs. And granted, Aaron Rodgers was always there. Brett Favre was there at one point. But it's just they're always, even when they say they have no talent, they're good enough to get to the playoffs.
See, and that's something to say right there. That goes to say that they've always had really good coaching because guess what? They win without big name talent, except for at quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers cried about not having a top 10 receiver. Like, you do, and we're giving you other guys, and you still only throw to him, so it doesn't matter who we bring in.
So coming down to the, what do you think Thursday is going to hold for us in here? I know we'll have some definitive Reds talk. I'm sure the next couple of days is going to be outstanding. I hope we'll have some more NFL news. The other thing that I really, and I sent it to you in text today, but I really think it's time that we start discussing the city of Tampa Bay as having elite type sporting franchises is how they're building and moving towards, because guess what? They're on the verge of the Stanley Cup. The Rays play amazing baseball. And guess what? They did the right thing finding somebody that could not throw 30 interceptions. All three of those major sporting teams are performing at a very high level. And it's, that's usually reserved for Los Angeles or New York. And I think that it's time to put them in the conversation as an elite sports town. But I want to do a little research to back up that. And I think we ought to talk about that a little bit on Thursday.
I mean, maybe not Thursday, but before football season starts, while baseball's still going on and, the Stanley Cups are coming to be, I think, in the next couple weeks for sure is going to be a good time to talk about that. Give us time to sit and.
I hate when you freeze.
It just made me mad today. I'm the only one home. No one's on my internet. I have literally everything plugged into the internet, unplugged. I have straight out of the wall, unplugged. So literally my computer that is wired to my Wi-Fi is the only thing plugged in using the internet, and it's just being stupid. But whatever. I already have, like I said, I already have my opinion on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's not what you think. It's not, yeah, fuck them, I hate Tom Brady. No, I just hate Tom Brady. I don't hate them. I think they could have went to the Super Bowl the year before last if anyone else was quarterbacking. They already had the team. Whatever. But I've been saying it about Tampa Bay Rays going back to the World Series. I bring that up all the time because I feel like that's a very important stat that people take unnoticed because of a 60 game season. Instead of 162, I feel like that is going untalked about. And so I agree there. And then, the hockey, the Stanley Cup. So that's there. And so, everything you're saying is relevant. And I do agree. I feel like it is a good topic of conversation. Probably one that we could get a hold of Rob and he'd sit in here and talk with us about it.
Yeah, because he definitely has some knowledge on several different fronts on that. Being from Baltimore and knowing that city very well. And knowing Eastern, but it's just coming to that conversation because we were just everybody was just talking about the Lakers' dominance and
I called their bluffs this year.
Huh?
I called both of their bluffs this year, the Dodgers and the Lakers. I knew they weren't going to championships. I knew both of them. I mean, it's too soon to tell with the Dodgers, but they're not going to be in the World Series. Just like the Lakers, I said weeks ago, we're not going to be in the NBA Finals this year. I just had it in my soul. I called their bluff. Just because you got
But
LeBron James don't make you the best.
I
Just
was
because you
just
got Tom Brady don't make you the best.
yeah, just going back to the last year, that was the conversation talking about the Dodgers and the Lakers. Now that LA is back with these franchises plus the Rams playing good football, are they the elite city in major sports right now? And everybody, if you get on the ESPN bandwagon, oh, LA, 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 that's all you
The only
hear.
LA team I actually care about right now is the freaking Angels. Is that what they are? Let's go Shohei, dude. Let a fucking man. That is a man.
I really like I like the Rams too, and you know what? I like the Chargers as
I mean, I
well.
like the Chargers. I mean, I don't like the Chargers. I hate the Chargers because division rival, but I love Justin Herbert. I love him so much, and I hate that he has to play in LA just because we have to play against him twice a year. And one of these days, he's going to beat us because he almost did twice last year. His first NFL game ever was against the Chiefs. He almost beat them. So I don't like that, but I love him, and I want all of the success he can get because he deserves it for getting shoved into the situation he was shoved into last year. He wasn't supposed to play a single NFL game last year, and look what he did. He came out one Rookie of the Year, and so that man is talented, and I will support him at all costs unless he's playing the Chiefs. Especially if he's playing the Raiders, I will definitely support them. I want them to burn in a fire pit just like Houston's going to do this year.
Oh yeah,
Suns in 4? I sure hope so.
5. You know what? That Milwaukee team has got some.
They got some talent, so I could see this series going 7 unless the Suns stay as hot as they've been. But like I said, it's all in perspective. The Bucks team was really hot in this Hawks series, but the Hawks were broken. So, how hot were they really? And now they're hot and tired. So, Phoenix has been sitting back watching their games for a week. So, we don't know. It could go either way, but I'm gonna stick with that. Suns in 4. That's what I want ultimately.
I'm gonna say that it's a 5-game series, probably maybe 6, but I don't think it goes to Game 7. I don't think Chris Paul will allow that.
Do you think the Suns are gonna go up 3-0 again?
No, I think it'll go 2-1 and then 4-1.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Give the Bucks one game to give them a little bit of hope, and then let Chris Paul and Devin Booker crush their dreams.
The Bucks this year has gotten the playoff monkey off their back. They've been regular season. I mean, they've done a lot of good things. I mean, they used to just be more of a playoff or a regular season team. This year they've won series. They haven't won them pretty, but they've won. So, credit where credit's due. I think they get a game in the finals, maybe 2, and this thing's over in 5 or 6, and we're on to something else.
Oh, and then we're partying when Chris Paul finally gets a ring. 16 years coming.
And before because I know we're closing in, but before we get off here today, I'm going to pop a quick link in the chat here for what FL Thunder Rob posted a quick video today. Both of us are going to do our Florida videos tonight, back to back, starting at 9 o'clock on my channel, and follow it up with his right afterwards. So we're going to invade both channels. It was a pretty interesting day. Dug a lot of coins, had a good time. But, Rob he's kind of excited, I think, and he posted a premiere video prior to. So there's the link for that. Hopefully we'll see everybody tonight in there for those. And then we'll be in here Thursday night to hopefully stay on this Reds bandwagon. Hopefully somebody new carries the torch this week and makes us proud.
I mean, I'm going to be fine if it's still our rookies and Joey Votto. Look, I want to see DeWink be the best MLB player in the league more than anyone. I want to see Nick Castellanos win MVP more than anyone other than Shohei. He definitely just deserves it, man. Like, I don't even care. Like, that man deserves to win MVP. But, every time Nick comes up to bat and the whole stadium is chanting MVP, it makes me feel good. And, like, as much as I want to see those guys, I'm perfectly fine with Joey Votto hitting huge-ass doubles and these rookies, coming in and kicking some ass because, it's a lot of pressure on a rookie to step up like that. And Tyler Stevenson, he'll go 9-10 pitches at bat just to stay alive and try to get a hit. Jonathan India will take getting hit by a pitch 20 times in a season to get himself on base. He doesn't care how many times.
He's getting tired of getting smacked with the baseball.
So is
Kyle Farmer.
Kyle Farmer. After yesterday been hit the most times in a season this year.
Yep. They're both
tied for first, and now he is the first #1 most hit player in the season.
Yep.
But
uh-oh. Are you opening?
It's only 20 cards.
Go for it.
I'm not going to pull up the second camera, but I really could become fond of opening a pack on the stream.
Go for it.
And who knows? We have semi-good luck on the stream. Shelby says rip them. Shelby said rip them. I'm going to rip them. Oh, man. Look, I don't even have the pack open, but look at the first card.
Heck yeah.
Joey. All right. Get me up and close. So, there's Joey. Oh, that's a rookie card. Braxton Garrett from Miami.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. The Shohei's beforehand. All right, I'm going to hold them like this just so I can read them. All right, here is Dylan Carlson, rookie. I think I've gotten 1 or 2 of his rookies so far. Roger Hornsby.
Another good ball player.
Here is, I forgot to read the name, Jose Ramirez, I think it said. Yeah.
Is that Cleveland?
Yeah. Bobby Dalbec, rookie for Boston. Cody Bellinger. Oh, wait. We got another great.
Oh, yeah, Jackie Robinson. That pack's loaded with the old timers. Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson in the same pack.
Brandon Lowe. It says Tampa. Oh, for some reason I thought it said New York on the front of the card, and then on the back it said Tampa Bay, and I was like, Pavin Smith, a rookie.
Interesting first name.
Here's one of the inserts things. Honus Wagner.
Hannes Wagner.
Honus Wagner, sorry.
Nice.
But yeah, it's one of those like.
I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, the red inserts.
Here is another Bobby Dalbec, but it's an artist proof one. Rookie card. Oh, here's a good one. Here's one of the legacy lithographs, Eddie Matthews. It looks nice, though.
It is a nice looking card.
This one is also a nice looking card. Freddie Freeman.
I like Freddie Freeman.
Freddie too. This looks really nice.
Does it say aficionado? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got Acuna. Jose Abreu. I feel like I have a million of his cards. So if anybody is a Jose Abreu fan, I got you. Alejandro Kirk.
Doesn't sound like the right last name for a guy named Alejandro.
No, it doesn't. He's from Mexico.
I thought he was going to say he was from the Starship Enterprise with a name like Kirk.
Here's a Diamond King or a debut Diamond Kings. We've got a rookie card of him as well. The Davy Garcia, Yankees pitcher. I think he was a Yankee.
I don't know how to say his name, but I like the color of that card.
Yeah. It's a pretty card. And San Diego Padres rookie Ryan Weathers. This kid was born in 1999. Makes me mad. You know, Tatis is only 22. Pissed me off the other day when I saw that. Pissed me off.
I would say so.
Man, I freaking love these Diamond King boxes. Seriously, I mean, they're only 20 cards in the hanger box, but, like, I love the artwork on them, and I love that when they do, like, the old school, they actually use, like, legit black and white photos. Like,
yeah, those are just old card pictures.
Yeah, like, and it looks so nice. Plus, we started off with we got a Reds card, which I feel like is really hard to find.
We don't get a lot of them, do we?
No, and like we got Joey on here. Born in 1983.
Yeah, Joey's killing it right now.
Like, also, Shelby said, I love the artist proofs. I spent a little bit of time with Peyton right before we went on vacation, and he said he's not 100% sure. And we looked it up, and we couldn't find anything about it. But he said he thinks that the cards that have this artist proof stamp on it, which I think between me and you pulling these packs, we have maybe 4 of them, that he thinks they're 1 out of 1 cards.
Really?
Yeah, and we can't find anything about it, so we don't know if it's factual or made up, and so, I mean, that's pretty sick if it is, because, like you said, we have, like, 4 of them, and if there's only 1 of that card ever made, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool. So I'm really looking forward to Thursday. I am. I think Thursday night we will probably have I think we're going to have some traction in here on Thursday.
Wait, what are they? Hang on, I'll show you one of them. It's these with these stamps on them that just say artist proof. Peyton thinks that they're 1 of 1s because, well, we can't find anything on them, for 1, and for 2, he thinks that like those stamps are like, I don't know. He thinks that they're 1 of 1 cards because you can't find a replica of any of them. Like the artist proof that I showed him from one of our last Diamond King boxes, we looked it up to see if we could find another one, and all of the other cards are numbered to however many that were made of that card or whatever. But the ones with the artist proof stamps, there is no listing of the numbering on them. So he thinks that there's only 1. Didn't we give one of those away? I don't think we did. No, we got rid of like one of the legacy lithograph cards and like 1 or 2 other things, but I don't think we got rid of an artist proof card. But yeah, I mean, if anybody is in here or ever watches this and knows anything about the Diamond Kings cards, and you do know, let us know, because I have no idea. And, I figure Peyton, of all people, would know. He's a card wizard. But
so when you said that, I was going back through because I have the checklist for that set of cards saved because I was trying to go through it and learn about it as we opened them. And the only artist set that I can find in this checklist is the artist palette set. And that's
that was like the one that the Shohei card was in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't find them because, like, okay, so this card that we got for the artist proof, we got the original card of it as well. Hang on. St. Louis. There it is. All right. So
but that's that. But just saying that card is not listed as being part of the set, so to speak.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
We got the original card and the artist proof card in the same pack.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sitting here looking at the set, and it doesn't. None of those cards are on that set.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and so, we've gotten, I think, four total artist proof cards.
Sounds about right.
But I can't find anything about them. Also, I'm pretty jacked to open this. I'm not gonna do it on the stream because I want to make a video, but
there's definitely some nice signature sets in this series, but I do not. I mean, it's not there. You're right. That's weird. And usually you can find that, especially when you're going through. What's the one that we got today that was from the artist set? What was his name?
The artist proof?
Yeah.
Bobby Dalbec, a rookie from Boston. A rookie card from Boston.
Oh, I found it. Artist proof parallels. AP Masterpiece is a 1 of 1. It's in the debut Diamond King set.
I don't think this says debut. I think it just says Diamond Kings.
I think they're all rookies. It's in that set. The artist proof. There's 4 different types.
Let me see if I can find another one of the artist proof cards. I don't know if there's any in here, but I will look. Because they only have the artist proof in the Diamond Kings.
It is definitely a subset. And if it's a masterpiece card, it's 1 of 1.
Well, how do I know if it's a masterpiece card?
I have no idea. Artist, AP Gold, AP Blue, a litho proof, and a masterpiece are part of the artist proof set.
What is the AP Blue?
I guess it's a blue rim. I don't know.
Mine's printed in blue, so this one is. I don't remember about the other ones. Oh wait, I got the cards down here.
It's a 30 card set that Bobby Dalbec's in the set. He's number 4. Oh man, there's a Tyler Stevenson in that set.
Oh no, I gotta dig for it. Oh. Yeah, I don't have those cards in here right now because I can't remember what the other artist proof cards we have are. I showed Peyton, so I know they're in
the kid from the Padres that's in that set, that Jake Cronenworth, I like him.
Oh, he's talented. Is he a rookie?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jesus Christ. Well, he's good as shit.
Yeah, the Brady Singer's in that set. Most of them I don't know, except for the Tyler Stevenson, the Sixto Sanchez.
I think the Sixto might be one of the artist proof we have.
The Dylan Carlson, Jake Cronenworth. Oh, and we got the Alec Bohm. That's one of them that's in there too.
We did get the Alec Bohm.
Okay, I found that set. I got a link for it. If you want the link so you can look at it, I'll send it to you.
I mean, you can send it if you want, or I can look it up later when I get
Yeah.
all the artist proof cards and put them together.
Just remember that it's in the debut Diamond King set. It's not part of its own set. It's in a part of another set. The frame parallels are in that set as well.
Well, yeah, it's probably anything other than the base card set. Like the lithographs and the legacy cards and.
But like I told you right then, the AP Masterpiece card is a 1 of 1. So there's 30 of those cards that are 1 of 1s that are out there. And I just don't know how to designate which one's which.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know either because it's not numbered. There's no numbers on the card. Like, this. Okay, for example, this card is numbered. Right there, you can see it faintly.
$156 to $225.
Yeah, so that's what a numbered card looks like. There's no numbers on this. But I thought it was interesting, he was like, we were talking about that, and he was like, I don't know, but I think.
Well, that's. I got. As soon as we close this down, I got something to talk to you about too. That's probably a good idea.
I feel like you didn't have to say it then. We could.
I know, but I don't want to forget. That's why I mentioned it.
Don't leave it up to me to not forget. And there we go. In a sleeve, just in case.
Well, we get a night off from the Reds game tonight, so I was sitting there thinking, oh, they play at 8:10, but not till tomorrow.
What? No, they play at 8:10 today.
Today?
Yeah, they play at 8:10 tomorrow too.
Oh, I thought they were off tonight.
No, they play at 8:10, 8:10, and then 2:10 on Wednesday.
Dang, I'm glad you said that because I didn't think they played.
Well, you know me.
I thought they had the day off.
Nope. Their next day off is
the All-Star game then.
Monday, the July 12th.
Did you hear Winker's statement about the home run derby?
No.
Why are you not going to be in the home run derby? Because I want to watch it.
Dude, he is my favorite. Seriously.
I want to sit in the stands. I want to be a fan. I want to drink a beer, and I want to watch it. That's what he said.
Do you know he's a Buffalo Bills fan?
I can see that. I don't know it, but I can see that.
Him and his brother both. I found his Instagram the other day on accident because it was like, hey, you follow Cincinnati Reds. You might like Jesse Winker. And I was like, well, you might be right, Instagram. So I looked at all this stuff. He's got a little daughter, too.
I just found something that's super cool.
Was it that guy who cranked that 511-foot home run?
No, but
in the minor leagues?
Oh, I don't even think I I'll take the replica. Hang on a second. I just found something that I want. And I don't normally want jerseys. Hang on a second. Check.
I want one of the All-Star jerseys from this year.
That's what it is.
Oh, I have the pictures of it on my phone. I already know what it looks like. It's badass. Yeah, I have those pictures on my phone.
It's the first time I seen it. It just came through my.
They got a matching hat too.
That I don't like it that there's no number on it, but
Well, I'm pretty sure my jersey doesn't have a number on the front.
The back.
Oh, the back, yeah. Well, these aren't because you can't get the players. You can just get the teams.
That's right. I gotcha.
I mean, they would make a lot more money selling those if they put Winker and Castellano's names on them, but it's fine.
Dude, those are sweet, though.
Also, Shelby, you are correct. They do play at 8:10 both days.
Okie dokie. Well, I need to do some stuff like eat and such before I sit and watch baseball for the night. As always, thank everybody that's been here that might come back here later. Like, subscribe, and share. And
Also, we're going to be releasing a full-length video, full-length card video that's not a short on Card Sharks either tomorrow or Wednesday, one of the two. And I think it's going to be baseball. If I'm not mistaken, it's baseball. So we should have a premiere up for that.
yeah, as soon as you get the link for that, let me have it so that I can share it out.
Absolutely. I will do that. And thank you to everyone who either was here, is here now, and who will be watching this later if you make it this far. We appreciate each and every one of you. Also, while we're on live, congratulations on hitting your 4,000 watch hours. Shout out to FL Thunder Digging with Rob. I know it wasn't him, but yeah. Claps for Dad. He got 2,000 hours in 2 days, but it's fine.
It's a long time coming.
It is a long time coming. It's well deserved, and I'm so happy to have watched it happen right here, sitting at home. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. But it was the craziest thing I've ever seen happen on a YouTube video.
I saw
it's not like a million views viral, but it felt like it, and it wasn't even me. So like that was super awesome. I hope everything continues going that direction for you on that channel.
I did send you the notification email today, right? Did I send you a copy of it where you can see it? Oh, I was proud of it. Once, my approval email.
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't send it to me, but you told me about it.
All right. Well, much love. I will see you guys soon. We'll be back
on
Thursday night.
The Red game starts in 40 minutes. We will probably, as long as they don't get destroyed, we will have probably some clips come up tonight.
Yep.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to Card Sharks. If you search it, it's the first thing that comes up as long as you spell it right.
I'm proud of that. Because at least that makes finding it easier. You know why? Because look at Nick's channel. He has so much trouble with people finding his channel.
I have trouble finding his channel. And I know what I'm looking for.
You get REO Speedwagon every time. All right. Much love. We'll see you guys Thursday. Go Reds. Go Reds. Go Suns.